Hey, this is Mary. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know everybody's stuck inside with everything that's going on, and I'm really hoping that everybody is okay. And then I think about someone watching this video 2 or 3 years from now and going, why is she saying that? So Google virus 2020 and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, today I'm going to talk about combing primitive breeds or dual coats, because some people think that by combing a dual coated fiber it blends the fiber together, but it does not, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So these are wool combs by Woolen Woodwork, and these combs are actually meshed together and sitting inside this little block so you can store them. And this is their, if you could see their little logo, Woolen Woodwork. These are some of the best combs I have, and I absolutely love them. So I would pull them apart, and that's what they look like. These are a 2-pitch comb, and 2-pitch means they have 2 rows. You could see the rows in there. They have 2 rows of tines to pull out neps and small pieces and things like that. So the 2 rows is what you want. If you want 3 or 4 rows with a different brand, that's perfectly fine. So this one has little clamps that actually pull in and out. There's a little hole there. And then there's this little padded area on the wood that the handle of your comb is going to fit in. These are all handmade, made with reclaimed wood, and I actually picked out this piece of wood for the bottom, and I've had them for years and I just love them. So we're going to put in one of the combs, and actually it's going to go this way, and we're going to put in the handle, and it's going to go upside down, and then we're going to turn it over and clamp it on the edge of the table. So since you're working with tools that have really sharp ends, you make sure and have your tetanus shot. And someone, see, it used to be tetanus shots were every 10 years, and then someone said now it's every 5 years. All right, so my combs are ready, and this is the wool. This is a piece of the wool. So you can see it has that outer layer and that inner layer. Okay. All right, so to put it on the combs, you want to put on that inner layer first. And I will usually, well, I always put my hands on both sides so I don't get stuck. I don't lash it on like some people do. That's just a little too unsafe for me. And I've gotten stuck before, and it's not fun. And one of my friends just got stuck with a carder or something, and she got a big infection. So please be careful with the tools that have tines, and pretty much any tool that you use is going to have those tines, like pickers and carders, combs, everything has those tines. So when we put things on a comb, it's going to be, what we pull off with it is going to be a comb top, because we're taking out second cuts, we are aligning the fibers, and that's what we do with wool combs. Versus a carder, which would be a worsted prep, a woolen prep for carders, a worsted prep for combs. And if you did something off your carder, it would be called a roving, and this would be called a comb top. Okay, so I don't do it very full. All right, then I'm going to take my other comb. You can go down and pull it out, or you can go sideways. Some people go up, but then I find that it pulls the wool up too much. I'll move the camera just a little bit so you could see. And then I just comb through the fiber, and I'm transferring wool from one comb to the other. And what that does is it takes out all the noils and the neps and the second cuts and things like that, and it aligns the fiber. If you can't get much out, if you feel like it's kind of stuck, you can take it and then kind of wiggle it, and it will pull out a little bit better. You are going to have some waste with combing. You always do. And I find that the combs that you can attach to the table are much better in the sense that you only have to use one hand, and you can use two hands if you need to, if your shoulders are bad. Okay, now we're going to take this other comb that's loaded and put it back on the second comb, and I hold it sideways, and then I can turn it over the other way if I want. Now you can see it's blending some of the colors, but when you pull it off, it's going to pull off the outside first. All right, so if you can you see the dark end here and the lighter end here? So when I diz this off, it's going to diz off the outer layer, the out course layer first. And here I have my diz. This is made out of a nice wood, like a zebra wood or something, and you can use either hole. It depends on how big you want that comb top to be. And this is a little tool that helps pull it through. So I bring it through the hole, that little tool, can you see that? And then I put the fiber through the little tool and I pull it through the hole. Now I have the concave side towards the fiber, so it funnels into the diz. Now I keep my finger close to the hole and I pull. And I'm going to show you that the thick coarse fiber is going to pull off first. It's just kind of the way it is. It's the way it happens. And when I get close to that shorter fiber, you want to draft a little bit shorter because it's shorter wool. And if you draft too far, then it's going to pull out. And if you're having a problem pulling it, kind of do a little circle and it will come off. Okay, so let's see what we got. So there is the softer undercoat, and there is your thicker coat. Okay, so here is the outer thicker layer. This is the piece that I dizzed off first, and as I go down, now there's the softer layer. So you can see that these dual coats, like this is Icelandic, will not blend on your wool combs. There's the outer layer, there's the inner layer. So it actually separates the coats. Now you know everything there is to know about combing dual coated wools. No matter what dual coat it is, that's how it's going to be. If you want to blend the two fibers together, I would card it. So I will card some, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here's a bat that I carded, and this is about 1 ounce. I mean, that's a pretty good size bat for 1 ounce, right? Oh my gosh. So look at this is a piece of the raw, but look at the crimp in that undercoat. I don't really, I see it, but this is just really crimpy. This is from Anita Gooch. Gooch, Anita Gooch, and this is really pretty. It's a little short, but this still, as you can see, it still was okay on wool combs. And this is that outer layer, which is a coarse fiber, and the inner layer, which is either a fine grade or a medium grade. And this really feels like a fine grade, so it just depends on the sheep itself. But because you have so much crimp in that underlayer, this is super, look at this, super lofty. Now what you could do with the two layers is spin yarn with a low twist, a single, and you can make a lopey yarn. But can you see the two layers? So it turned sort of gray, but you can see the two layers blended together. So if you want to keep the layers separate, and you can take this apart, like you can pull this off from this inner layer. This is really good for a warp for weaving because it's so strong and there's no crimp, there's no memory to it. This is a really strong, coarse fiber versus the inner fiber, which is a little softer. Well, it's very soft actually, super soft, and has definitely more memory because there's more crimp. So you can either comb it and separate out the two layers, or you can put it through your drum carder.